Hey everybody, welcome to Bones and Brews. Today we're going to take up the heat. We're getting spicy. We're making a pineapple habanero salsa. Let's get started. All right, so I got all of our ingredients ready to go. I got them all chopped. We don't have to make things every small chopped, fine chopped, which is big portions before we throw it in the smoker. Today, since I'm only making this salsa, I've got my little 18-inch Weber Smoky Mountain going between 225, 250 degrees. I threw a little bit of mix of hickory, applewood on there as well. Once we get everything on there, take up probably about 45 minutes to an hour just to get that texture we want. Then we'll pull these ingredients back off. So let me show you what we're doing. I'm gonna put everything in a pan just to keep some of those pineapple juices in here as well. So I got all that pineapple here that I cut up into sections. We're gonna throw that in the pan. And then I got some locally grown tomatoes here. So I got really 2 large tomatoes. I quartered those, throw those in the pan as well. I'm using 1 jalapeno that I grabbed from my garden. I cut it in half, got those seeds out of there. I got about half of a really large red onion that I've cut into sections as well. We'll throw that in there. And then I'm gonna be real gentle here. So I've got 2 orange jalapeno or habaneros from my own garden. Then I had somebody give me these like one of these red habaneros called like an Inferno habanero. I've not tried it, but we're gonna go with 3 habaneros in this mix today as well. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna place it on the Weber Smoky Mountain. Once again, 45 minutes to an hour. After that, we're gonna pull it off. We're gonna get that blender out. We're gonna mix everything together, add some other fresh ingredients, and then we're gonna give it a taste test. Let's get on the smoker. All right, folks, our veggies, pineapple, everything are ready to go off of that smoker. So what I'm going to do next, because I put everything in really large portions here, I'm actually going to take my knife and chop them just a little bit finer, throw them in my pot. I got my hand mixer. We're going to mix everything together, add a few more ingredients. Let me get these all chopped up. All right, so we got everything out of here on the cutting board, out of the pan. I kept that pan though because it's got a lot of that juice from that pineapple that's smoked in there. I'm sure it's got some heat from those habaneros as well. We're gonna put that back in the pot here when we get them ready to mix things up. Those tomatoes I pulled off the smoker, I'm just gonna pull those skins right on off the top of those as well. We will not need those. That'll make it easier for us. Almost like a stewed tomato there, that texture. Those juices stayed inside those homegrown tomatoes too. I really love it. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop this stuff up a little smaller. Just make it a little easier for that hand blender that we're using. You can use a food processor, kind of do it in sections, depending how big your food processor is, or a blender at home, whatever you need to do. And then when you blend it up, you just really think about that consistency. Do you want a thicker salsa? Do you really want it super thin? Depends how you're gonna use it as well. I'm gonna kind of go in between, because it's something we're probably going to use later this week on some fish tacos. I love this on a fish taco, just that heat. It's so good. It's also just good with a chip as well, trust me. So let's get this in here. I'm going to continue chopping this all up and get it in the pot, and then we're going to come back and start blending, my friends. All right, so everything I got chopped up in my pot here. I'm just using that to alleviate some of the splatter I might get from the hand mixer. So this is all those ingredients that were on the smoker. But we need to add a few more things too before we get going. So first of all, I'm going to take a little bit of cilantro here. I'm going to put that right in the top here. This is probably about a quarter, third of a cup here. Not too much cilantro. More the better though. I don't mind a lot of cilantro. I am also going to take myself a lime. We're going to juice that lime right inside that pot as well. That lime is just going to give it another fresh layer along with that pineapple. Can never go wrong with that lime, that's for sure, my friends. All right. Next thing we're going to do, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and everything's in there. It's time to mix it up, my friends. Let's get to blending. All right, friends, so you can tell I've already put in some of this in my big old mason jar here. A lot more left in the pot to use for now. This will go in the fridge for later. Let's grab ourselves a chip and give it a taste test. I can smell that citrus of that pineapple and even that little bit of lime we had in there as well. Still gonna be a little warm right now. I would suggest making us throw it in the refrigerator. It'll stay for a while as well. It's better cold on those fish tacos, but mm. So I instantly get the pineapple on the front end, a hint of that red onion, so it's not onion heavy. Perfect amount of onion. And then here comes that habanero heat on the back end. It's not too much though, folks, because I think those fresh tomatoes just give it that like ripeness that we want in there as well, instead of just some store-bought tomatoes been sitting on the shelves for a while. Get some tomatoes from a local market, especially this time of year here at the end of the summer. Enjoy those fresh ingredients, fresh jalapenos, anything you can get fresh, go with it as well. Even using that fresh pineapple instead of a pineapple out of a can, that's gonna make a huge difference. But this is very refreshing. It's not very like it's a spicier salsa, but it's not one that's going to make you sweat. It's one of those ones where you like it, you want to keep eating more. So this will be really enjoyable. So I'm going to grab a few more chips, enjoy a little bit more as well. Get some this one in the fridge, save it for taco night. You guys, thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to the channel, especially if you like what we're doing. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.